Crowds gather at dawn. Streets humming with whispered warnings and cautious energy. Leaders move through alleys, passing notes, counting heads, scanning for informants. Posters vanish from walls overnight, replaced with threats in shaky handwriting. Children hide behind mothers as distant sirens echo through the city. A drumbeat signals assembly. Men and women check weapons, readying defenses. Shadows shift in corners, eyes tracking every uniformed figure on patrol. Elders speak quietly, cautioning youth, but determination steals the youngest faces. Barricades are built from crates, doors, and overturned carts at intersections. Whispers grow into chants, a network of coded phrases spreading through neighborhoods at the river. Boats are loaded, supplies packed for urgent movements tonight. Couriers sprint through rain, slipping past checkpoints, clutching vital messages tightly. Footsteps pound on wooden floors above. Spies may be listening quietly. Leaders confer in dim rooms. Maps sprout, marking patrol patterns and choke points. Fists pound tables. The urgency of response outweighs fear of reprisal. A siren wails. Scouts signal from rooftops, watching armored vehicles approach slowly. Crowds freeze mid banners clutched, tension biting through damp morning air. Negotiators prepare, their faces stoic, knowing authority will push every limit today. Dogs bark behind iron gates. Soldiers adjust rifles, scanning the faces in the crowd. A young man whispers, "If we falter, they'll remember every name here." Smoke from distant fires curls, warning of skirmishes already erupting blocks away. Women move silently through alleys, carrying water, tending minor injuries, observing all actions. A child drops. Everyone flinches, scanning for patrolling eyes. Leaders divide tasks. Some guard, some signal, and some prepare escape routes carefully. Helmets glint under gray clouds as authority vehicles slow near the barricade. Marchers step forward. Banners high, rhythm of chants slout against rising tension. Tear gas canisters hiss, bouncing off concrete. People duck, coughing violently. Shots crack. The crowd scatters, yet regroups swiftly, guided by practiced signals. Leaders yell orders, coordinating movements to avoid encirclement, keeping morale visible. Chains rattle as gates close. Opponents attempt containment but misjudge the crowds. Courier slides beneath fences, clutching lists of contacts for urgent reinforcements. Fear flares in new recruits. Veterans grip shoulders, pulling them back into formation. Windows shatter as authorities strike. Resistance throws objects, forcing retreat, regroup, repeat. Roofs echo with footsteps above. Citizens watch, preparing to descend in defense. Flames lick the edges of barricades. Smoke clouds the vision, heightening risk. A young leader counts, bodies silently, signaling which streets require urgent coverage. Sirens combat. A loudspeaker warns dispersal, but chants persist, voices unbroken. A sudden push forward meets but people stumble, but momentum refuses to break. Water bottles fly, smoke bombs roll. Officers hesitate as strategy meets chaos. Neighbors signal from rooftops, pointing out hidden lanes for safe passage. A child screams, lost momentarily, quickly found in a protective embrace. Messages are exchanged with hand gestures. No words, no words. Leave mouths, only eyes convey. Fire spreads to crates. Clouds of smoke hide movements from aerial patrols. A trapdoor creaks. A small group descends, carrying the injured silently to safety. Leaders scribble updates in journals, recording names, movements, and patterns meticulously. Authority forces advance. Marchers retreat, regroup, forming new lines along narrow streets. Tension spikes. Betrayal suspected as some signals fail. Routes suddenly blocked unexpectedly. Shouts rise as confrontations flare at corners. Sticks clashing against shields. Sparks flying a bridge becomes a choke point. Citizens hold the line, resisting with makeshift arms. Smoke thickens, visibility drops. A young scout signals, barely seen, then disappears. Dogs lunge at shadows. Citizens fight them off, adrenaline fueling. Every motion that an old man collapses. Medics pull him back, assessing quietly under pressure. Carts tip, supplies spill, volunteers scramble, ensuring vital items remain in hands. Ropes are tied across streets, vehicles slow, officers curse, and movement is hindered intentionally. Flashes of metal, batons swinging, bodies ducking, every moment a risk calculated. A leader steps forward, hands raised, signaling truce, scanning every face carefully. Negotiators approach cautiously. Authority eyes glint with suspicion, weapons never lowered. A child peeks from a doorway, eyes wide, clutching a tattered blanket tightly. Tension rises as authorities cordon new sections. Citizens adapt, rerouting silently through alleys. Smoke from fires casts an orange haze. Shadows merge, confusion growing on both sides. Leaders whisper, "Tonight, the city is ours, but only until dawn approaches." Men and women swap positions. Fatigued bodies lean but maintain vigilant posture. A sudden explosion. Barricade shifts, debris flying. Citizens dive instinctively, scrambling. Signals falter. Trust becomes tentative. Each decision weighed for survival. Risk, scouts, report distant reinforcements. Leaders adjust strategy, splitting forces to protect neighborhoods. A young woman points skyward. Drones hover above, forcing quick repositioning below. Flames ignite a store. Citizens form a line, passing buckets, suppressing growth under threat. Batons strike. Chantas rise louder, covering cries of pain. Resilience prevailing visibly. Authority missteps. Citizens exploit the moment, advancing cautiously. Shields raised, fists tight. A messenger falls. Companions rush, dragging him out of line of fire. Tension peaks. Shadows from buildings conceal unknown observers, recording every movement discreetly. Negotiators retreat. Distrust spreads. Leaders signal rapid regroup at hidden courtyards. Smoke burns eyes. Coughs echo as young and old alike maintain structured chaos. Crowds split strategically. Alleys become arteries for rapid movement, escape, or attack. Dogs return, sniffing. Citizens shoo them off violently, adrenaline propelling each action. Flashes of fire-illuminate faces etched with exhaustion, defiance, and fear simultaneously. A lookout yells. Authorities flank from an unexpected street, forcing quick recalibration instantly. Banners fall. Chants falter briefly. Tension thickening like night fog across streets. Leaders coordinate silently. Hand signals, glances, and nods dictate every citizen's movement. A lone figure runs, carrying supplies under the cover of smoke. Risk captured deliberately. Sirens intensify. Nearby shots ping off walls. A child clings to their mother desperately. A barricade collapses. Citizens push back, improvising immediately, using debris strategically. Windows shatter again. Glass rains down. Leaders shield youth, signaling defensive. Repositioning. Every intersection becomes contested. Each step forward is met with a visible, escalating threat. Scouts report officer gaps. Leaders exploit openings, pushing lines into newly claimed streets. Fear mixes with determination. Bodies fall, rise, and keep advancing under heavy resistance. A message is delivered by a runner. Authorities planning sweep at midnight. Prepare accordingly. Leaders nod. Instructions whispered. Signals passed. Positions adjusted under looming danger. Smoke lingers. Cries. Hecho. Citizens press forward, using courage as temporary armor. A child trips. Hands grab him instantly, pulling him into a protective circle instinctively. Authority hesitates, unsure, providing a brief window. Citizens exploit the pause, moving silently, unseen. A firework explodes. Sparks create chaos, and the crowd scatters strategically, avoiding capture efficiently. Tension peaks again. Leaders assess risk, reading facial cues of both allies and enemies. Alleyways become mazes. Citizens disappear and reappear. Every movement calculated and deliberate. Messenger returns, delivering maps, updated patrol patterns, and warnings of imminent crackdown. Crowds breathe heavily. Adrenaline coursing, but strategy persists, ensuring control of critical zones. Scouts signal. New recruits joining silently from the east, reinforcing barricade lines quickly. Children huddle with elders. Murmurs rise, stories of past struggles encouraging resilience subtly. Authorities prepare, unaware that citizens have shifted positions strategically. Smoke still rises. Firelight flickers across determined faces, shadows dancing across brick walls. A sudden shout. Betrayal suspected. Lines tighten. Trust questioned. Recalculations immediate and tense. Barricades repaired. Hate. Citizens anticipate sweep, adapting constantly to unseen threats above. Leaders whisper, "Tonight we'll test all we have built and more." Flames flare, Smoke thickens. A distant explosion echoes, signaling the beginning of new chaos. Every street, a battleground. Every face shows fear, resolve, and readiness simultaneously. Observers from rooftops, signal patterns, guiding movements, avoiding traps, and recording authority positions. A young scout disappears. Panic reases briefly. Then tactical regroup calms momentum. Crowds advance, retreat, and shift. The city becomes a chessboard. Each move high stakes. Authority moves slowly. Hesitation exploited. Citizens gain temporary ground. Hearts racing visibly. Smoke and flames obscure vision. Whispers guide movements, and everyone is calculating survival carefully. A child's cry pierces the night. A mother shields, scanning rapidly for approaching danger. Leaders plan next. Strike. Tension unresolved. Risk escalating. Eyes fixed on unseen threats. Crowds scatter as armored vehicles surge into narrow streets. Sirens screaming violently. Smoke swirls. Debris hits bodies. Marchers duck, scrambling for temporary cover quickly. Batons strike. Shields clash. Every corner becomes a point of visible, dangerous conflict. Leaders shout orders, pulling youth from the line of fire. Prioritizing survival strategically. A window shatters. Glass rains down. A mother shields her child instinctively. Dogs lunge. Citizens fight them off, improvising traps with ropes and debris. Authorities advance slowly. Panic rises as barricades are breached with calculated force. Runners deliver warnings. Sweeps are widening. Regroup at hidden courtyards immediately. Crowds split. Alleyways swallow movement. Only smoke and shadows mark paths clearly. A young scout disappears. Tension spikes. Leaders signal to maintain formation carefully. Flames lick walls. Smoke chokes. Cries echo, mixing fear and defiance. Audibly batons crack ribs. Officers push relentlessly. Citizens stagger, but resist. Fists raised. Messages pass silently. Glances, gestures, and nods dictate every critical action. A child clutches their mother. Authorities approach. Leaders intervene, forcing a temporary standoff tactically. Barricades collapse. Fire spreads. Volunteers scramble, improvising protection. In chaotic streets, tear gas hiss. Citizens cough violently, eyes burning. Retreat and advance alternate rapidly. An elder collapses. Medics rush, dragging him to cover, balancing speed and caution. Shots echo. Steel clashes. Tension peaks. Every heartbeat measured against immediate danger. Authorities block escape. Citizens form human chains, pushing supplies and wounded forward. Flames flare again. Shadows stretch across faces, highlighting exhaustion, pain, and resolve. Scouts signal from rooftops. Unseen forces record movements, anticipating every tactical step. Negotiators fail. Distrust spreads. Leaders adjust plans, splitting forces. Across alleys, strategically, smoke obscures vision. Children huddle. Youth advance cautiously, hands gripping makeshift shields. A young runner falls. Companions rush, dragging him away from line of sight. Tension spikes. Betrayal suspected. Leaders. Recalibrate, recalculating risk for every block. Batons strike repeatedly. Crowd responds with coordinated defensive pushes. Flames consume a cart. Citizens redirect water, suppressing the spread. Every second crucial. Authority missteps. Citizens exploit hesitation, advancing into briefly unguarded. Intersections carefully. A messenger returns, bringing maps of patrols, updates on sweep timings, and urgent instructions. Crowds breathe heavily. Adrenaline fuels every motion. Survival outweighs all fatigue visibly. Scouts report additional forces approaching. Leaders signal reinforcements to strategic barricades quickly. Windows shatter again. Glass cuts. Cries rise. Every step forward is met with a visible, escalating threat. Children trip. Hands grab them immediately, dragging them into protective circles instinctively. Fires flare. Night deepens. Citizens use shadows for cover. Mobin silently. Through alleys, authority hesitates. Moment exploited. Barricades repaired. Citizens retreat briefly, reorganizing for defensive maneuvers. Baton swing. Shields crack. Bodies stagger, pushing forward, refusing immediate submission. Explosions echo in the distance. Barricades shake. Eyes scan continuously. Whispers coordinate every tactical step. Precisely. Children cling to elders. Mothers shield them, scanning every approaching uniformed figure cautiously. A messenger runs. Positions adjusted. Citizens shift silently, blending into shadows, ready for ambush. Crowds advance, retreat, and flank. Every street contested, every movement calculated for survival. Dogs attack again. Citizens improvise traps, using debris and fire to deter pursuit effectively. Smoke burns eyes. Fires flicker across determined faces, highlighting fatigue, fear, and defiance. A barricade collapses. Citizens push back immediately, improvising new defenses amidst chaos. Flashes of gunfire illuminate alleyways. Bodies duck, dive, and scatter under relentless assault. Leaders whisper, hold positions, wait for signals. Survival depends on every action. Tear gas fills the streets. Citizens cough violently. Movement slow, but coordination remains visible. Authority. Forces push forward. Citizens split into small units, using narrow passages strategically. Children cry, elders console. Volunteers carry supplies and aid, balancing speed with caution. Smoke clouds vision. Explosions echo. Barricades are reinforced while threats loom unpredictably. A young scout disappears. Momentary panic. Leaders signal, ensuring continuation of coordinated defense. Batons strike hard. Shields hold. Citizens regroup, advancing into newly contested. Streets become labyrinths, shadows masking every strategic movement. Authority hesitates. Citizens exploit the pause, reclaiming sections of the street temporarily. Breathing heavily, a messenger falls. 4 anticipated sweeps. Imminently smoke thickens. Flames cast an orange haze. Cries and chants mix, signaling resilience amidst chaos. Explosions echo, glass shatters. Children scream. Adults shield, moving silently, balancing survival with strategy. Authority approaches from multiple directions. Citizens adapt, splitting forces into alleys and rooftops cautiously. Tension spikes. Every moment risk escalates. Leaders reassess positions under constant, visible threat. Crowds advance, retreat, and regroup. Night amplifies fear and urgency. In equal measure, fires flare unexpectedly. Smoke blinds. Citizens use shadows, remaining hidden while reinforcing barricades. Negotiators fail repeatedly. Adults direct, carrying the injured, ensuring lines remain unbroken. Explosions nearby. Debris flies. Strategically, avoiding capture while protecting one another. Batons strike shields clash. Leaders adjust units, exploiting weaknesses, advancing cautiously yet decisively. Smoke burns eyes, tension peaks, blending shadows and firelight for cover. A young scout signals another sweep. Units shift positions, maintaining organized chaos, anticipating attack. Fires flare again. Smoke thickens. Children huddle. Adults push forward, securing vital intersections. Authority advances aggressively. Citizens retreat strategically, using debris and fire to hinder progress. Explosions echo. Barricades collapse. Bodies fall, rise, and continue resisting despite visible danger. Leaders coordinate silently. Hand signals, glances, and whispers dictate every critical movement. Crowds move in calculated waves. Alleys, rooftops, and streets are all part of a survival strategy. Tension peaks. Betrayal suspected. Lines tighten. Leaders adapt, balancing trust and risk continuously. Smoke swirls. Fires flare. Streets are contested. Citizens maintain control over critical sections temporarily. A messenger runs, delivers maps, updates, and warnings of incoming sweeps across city sectors. Leaders nod. Positions shift. Children and elders moved safely behind barricades. Eyes scanning constantly. Flames reflect off faces. Exhaustion, fear, and defiance are visible. Fuels every remaining motion. Authority hesitates. Moment exploited. Citizens reclaim streets, albeit briefly, preparing for next confrontation. Explosions echo. Debris flies. Chaos reigns. Streets a battlefield. Every movement, high stakes. Smoke thickens. Cries, rise. Leaders signal defensive shifts. Citizens following. With precise coordination, a young scout disappears. Panic rises briefly. Regroup restores order under tense conditions. Barricades reinforced. Citizens anticipate sweeps. Flames and smoke masking movements. Survival, strategy, paramount. Authority advances. Citizens split strategically, flanking, retreating, and advancing, preserving control where possible. Children and elders are protected. Youth resist. Adults coordinate, ensuring every movement maximizes survival odds. Fires flare, smoke rises, barricades repaired. Tension remains unresolved. Stakes escalating continuously. Crowds move silently. Streets are a chessboard. Leaders calculate risk with every heartbeat under pressure. Explosions echo. Glass shatters. Citizens duck dive and regroup. Survival dictating all actions. Tension peaks. Night deepens. Authority forces maneuver. Citizens adapt. Resisting. Surviving. Holding lines. Smoke burns eyes. Cries echo. Barricades reinforced. Survival achieved momentarily. Danger persistent. Leaders whisper. We hold tonight. A tomorrow sweep will test everything again. Every street contested. Every step measured. Citizens endure. Adapt. Survive in escalating chaos. Fires. Flare. Smoke thickens. Shadows stretch across exhausted, defiant. Faces survival hanging by threads. Crowds split. Regroup. And fortify. Tension unresolved. Oppression continuous. Stakes unrelenting. Danger immediate.